commandments. The hero was coming, I'm locked in. You know that I'm winning, I'm top 10. You know that I came from the dog pen. You want it, you get it, you drop dead. The rebel who came from the bottom. My enemies know that I got it. I'm planting my seeds in gardens, then watching them sprout and harvest. The greatest was always in my plans. Battle the kid is white flags. Not on my level where I stand. Got it, I'm shooting a hot hand. Out of the gym, I was locked out. I failed, the kid was a dropout. I changed the game and it's up now. The city, they need me, it's clear now. The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
Sandman, I can tap dance through the energy blast. Run flat, never pop your orbit. I keep energy in storage. I see spinning the globe, my fingertip itch. If I could pluck the earthquake hit. Look at the wrist, look at your body, I shake it and shift. Big fish in a small pond. Godzilla with a boot on. I step into your lawn. Turn skyscrapers into croutons. Hit the button going high speed. Need a megaphone to announce me. I move through the pygmies in the top pick. Gotta pick fleas. Sit back, better breathe deep. Look around and they looking at me. 10 toes still never defeat. Push button never needed a key. IC they ain't ready for me. Hot boy still 100 degrees. I cross eyes and I dotted the T's. E&D till I leave in peace.
The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the... The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the...
Live and free boys high school basketball brings you inside of the fabulous furnace here tonight, where Mansfield Christian takes center stage at home, looking to end a bit of a slide after the holiday break against a Crestview team out to a 9-1 start. Another hot one for the Cougars. Brian Skowronski, Joe Balogh will be on the call when we return in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Joe Balogh. Tune into The Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
Did you know that every parent in Ohio may now choose the right school for their child? Hi, I'm Dr. Cy Smith, Superintendent at Mansfield Christian School. Thanks to new legislation, all of Ohio's children are now eligible for a school voucher. No matter where you live, everyone qualifies, and 80% of Ohioans qualify for the full voucher amount. We are so excited for Christian families who can now align their child's education with their Christian values at a private school like Mansfield Christian. Give them the truth that they desperately want and need. Give them a Christian education. You can find out more information at mcsflames.org or call 419-756-5651.
Pre-game coverage coming at you live and free from inside the furnace, thanks to our good friends at Spherion Mid-Ohio. If you're looking for a job or to hire somebody new, check them out at midohiojobs.net. I am Brian Skowronski, joined by the great Joe Balogh here tonight. And Mansfield Christian coming off the best season they've had in program history, having to replace a lot of people. Still some question marks and a little bit of a skid. And the toughest part of their schedule right now, that they're at the end of it, but doesn't get much easier tonight. Crestview Cougars 9-1.
No, Crestview 9-1, and just coming off of a win against Western Reserve, but also coming off of a loss on Tuesday night against a team Highland that I guess we would consider that to be an upset, as Highland I think is 6-6. So coming into a place, it's a tough place to play at. I mean, at Ontario, we played here over the years, and it's just not an easy gym to come in and play. Just a little bit of a different atmosphere. Court's a little bit smaller. So it'll be interesting to see how Crestview comes in, how ready to play they are tonight, ready to play tonight that they are in this non-league contest.
We'll spotlight the Crestview Cougars as we dive inside of their year up to this point. You mentioned the loss to Highland. That's their only so far on the season, of course. Bounced back nicely in a blowout win against Western Reserve. And this is a high-scoring team, almost 67 points per game. They play solid defense as well under head coach John Kurtz, only allowing about 50. And what's been really impressive is the stretch that they've been on, of course. The last 2 years, the best that you could say in program history. 8-0, they started this year for the third straight year.
Yeah, I mean, John Kurtz has done a great job at Crestview, was very good early in his coaching career, and then came here for 6 years and had this Mansfield Christian program rolling also, and then went back to Crestview after leaving here. Has done a tremendous job, and as you mentioned, 2 of the best years in Crestview basketball history.
And they've enjoyed a lot of the good times rolling here as of late because of this gentleman, Mr. Justice Thompson, who recently became the second all-time leading scorer in program history and putting up career type of numbers, Joe. 26 points per game, almost 8 rebounds, and a phenomenal statistic. He's shooting 50% from long range.
And he may not only take one from the volleyball line tonight, he might take one from just across the half-court line because his range is really deep. I mean, he's improved that each and every year. He's having an outstanding senior season, and he's the guy that Crestview leans on to carry them, and he's done that so far this year.
So Mansfield Christian certainly will have their hands full with the All-Ohioan, who figures to be a first-teamer if he keeps up the type of production that he's had, and certainly will become the program's all-time leading scorer when it is all said and done. So you see the Flames all lined up outside of the perimeter down on one end, Crestview down here at the other, getting ready for some high school basketball action Saturday night here in a snowy Mansfield. So hopefully you're at home, you got a nice cup of cocoa, hanging out nice and warm, and you let us bring you the action live and free the only way we know how. John Mark Young on the microphone here inside of the Furnace tonight, getting us closer to competition. We've got a prayer coming up, and then our national anthem, and then we'll spotlight Mansfield Christian, show you what they've done so far on the season, getting to this point at 5-5. Shout out to the Mansfield Christian Pet Band for getting the stage set here tonight with the Star Spangled Banner. And now let's learn about the home team and their journey so far here to the midway point of the season. Mansfield Christian got out of the gates red hot, 5-1 start for them, but I mentioned they've been riding the struggle bus, Joe, against some really quality competition here lately. They've dropped 4 in a row, including their most recent game against Hillsdale, where they only scored 39 points. So, I think they've got something to prove here coming out against Crestview, that they belong in the conversation where they were maybe last year and the year before, where they were competing with some of the top teams in the area.
Yeah, and this is an interesting matchup, too, because both of these teams are in the Division 6 district that I think is going to be played at Ontario. Currently, Crestview's the number 2 ranked team in the Max RPI, and Mansfield Christian's the number 5. So a win tonight by the Flames would really bump their RPI up, for that tournament draw. So could be a preview of a possible matchup, in that district tournament at Ontario.
We showed you a senior on the spotlight for Crestview tonight. We go with a sophomore, Davion Mack. Another unbelievable year. Led the team in scoring as a freshman last season. He's almost 20 points per game, Joe. Leads them in rebounding. Only problem with him, gets moving a little bit too quick now without some of those veteran ball handlers that they had the last couple of years. Almost 50 turnovers already on the season, but He really is smooth.
Yeah, he's a really smooth basketball player. To be the leading scorer as a freshman is outstanding, and he's picked up right where he left off as far as the scoring part. What he needs to have happen for him tonight, though, is the players around him need to step up a little bit, because the supporting cast of the Crestview Cougars right now on paper is a little bit better than the supporting cast of the Mansfield Christian Flames. So it's going to be important that he takes better care of the basketball, also tries to put his teammates in situations where, it's going to maybe be easier for them to score. That'll be a key as far as the Flames having success offensively tonight.
Yeah, last year he was the beneficiary of getting a lot of nice passes in and around the basket for easy buckets. This year, Mack trying to create a bit more for himself. Non-starters being announced here, so we'll dive into our keys to victory presented by Spherion Mid-Ohio. And for me, for the Cougars tonight, I think you just got a key on Davion. There's a few seniors on the team that can hurt you offensively for the Flames, but none burn quite as bright as number 3 does. So if you just key on him, try to take the ball out of his hands or get him moving pretty fast, could be a very fortunate night here for the Cougars.
Well, and what John Kurtz wants his team to do is he wants to have a clean game. He doesn't want to have a lot of turnovers, and typically Mansfield Christian's been a team that really is going to like to put pressure on you in the full court. And playing on a smaller floor here tonight, that might be a little bit easier for them. So Coach Kurtz is going to be looking at, hey, let's take good care of the basketball. Let's not be throwing the basketball, having live ball turnovers against this pressure defense of the Flames.
Starting lineups being announced here for Crestview. They'll go with Tyson Ringler, Daniel Wells, Carter Goon, Justice Thompson, and Joe Kosaski. For Mansfield Christian, how do they get it done tonight? Well, according to me and Joe, they have got to just get some open looks on offense. That's a big key for them. They've got some decent three-point shooters on the outside. If you can get a couple that are undefended, or at least the defender a little bit off, obviously pretty beneficial.
Well, and an emphasis has got to be to control Justice Thompson. I mean, you can't let him get 25 or 30 tonight. Ideally, you would like to keep him, in that 15-point range, keep him under 20, and then hopefully nobody else steps up and really has a big night for him either. But they got to really focus on not letting Justice get a quick start here tonight.
And now the Flames in their starting lineup. Evan Hager, senior point guard, making his way around the arena right now. He'll be joined, of course, by the sophomore Davion Mack. Inside, they'll have Taylor Hahn with a fresh new buzz cut, a much different look for Taylor from what we've seen so far previously this season. Evan Kaib in size. Inside, nice big size for number 42. And finally, Josiah Schlusner. The starting lineups here tonight for the Flames, who are coached by Kerry Craner. He's had a lot of success, led him to the most wins in program history a season ago. Broke a lot of school records last year, just about every metric that you can imagine offensively.
I mean, good crowd here tonight. As we said, this is a kind of a tightly confined venue for basketball. You see a lot of new facilities. This is a facility that they call it the furnace for a reason, because it does get pretty hot in here.
I'm feeling it, Joe.
And it's a much smaller court than a typical court that you put in a new gym right now.
Crestview has beat Mansfield Christian 6 consecutive years since they started playing each other. Looking for 7 in a row, and they've got the basketball to start things off. Flames sitting half court man-to-man right now. Off the baseline drive. Nice job cutting them off for Evan Kaib. They'll come up top for Justice Thompson, who takes it to the rack, a little bit short left-handed, but an offensive rebound pulled down here by Kosaski.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be important that the Flames try to limit the Cougars just to one shot, and Kosaski doing something that he did early in the first game that I saw them play against Colonel Crawford, getting to the offensive glass. And another offensive rebound.
They'll kick it outside. That three, no good. Tipped around, poked out of Hahn's hands. But Kaib collects, pitches off here to Davion Mack. Comes the sophomore into the front court, steps through, and he'll be fouled on his way down the lane.
Yeah, they didn't. They needed to match up with Davion a little bit sooner, and he saw just a little bit of a gap. And he's got the quickness and the athleticism that he can kind of split the defense. So Davion going to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Mack good on the first. And Davion goes 2 for 2, 70% shooter on the season from the charity stripe.
Which is typically, if you have somebody that's their leading scorer, they're going to be a pretty good free throw shooter. So 70% pretty good at the high school level. You'd like it to be, at that higher 70s, but Mack a good free throw shooter.
And averages almost 9 free throw shot per game. Thompson as well gets to the free throw line a bunch. And they'll head there now.
They just ran a little bit of a clear out there on the left side. And Justice Thompson going to the basket with a strong move, getting to the free throw line.
Justice 62 attempts from the free throw line so far on the year. Rattles in the first.
So he's averaging about six attempts every game through 10 games. And he goes 2 for 2, so 2 leading scorers start out the night for both of their teams.
Here's Mack up top.
And Tyson Ringler, their best defender, matched up on him.
Schleusner down on the block. Kaib, nice head fake.
Well, there's a little bit of a size mismatch there. And the Flames took advantage of it here. Thompson again going to his left. They stop his penetration.
Here's Hager looking to defend. Off the kick out, the 3 is up, and it's off the front iron. Long rebound comes out to Schleusner.
Good box out there by the Flames.
And there's Ringler. You mentioned he's just a terror on the defensive side of things, so that should be a good matchup to watch. He and Davion Mack.
Yeah, and he just kind of been that hustle guy. He was that a year ago. The guy that goes to the offensive glass and gets offensive rebounds, does a great job defending. You need that kind of guy if you're going to have the success that Crestview has, and he's been a guy that's been willing to play that role.
Kaib on the block, opposite side, turned away this time. The block. Now Goon with the ball after the giveaway, sets up the 3. And the Cougars cold from long range so far here to start.
Yep. And Mack in transition, which is where he's going to be dangerous.
It's really where Davion excels.
Yeah, you got to try to find him early and then make him change direction, and he really didn't have to change direction there until he got into the lane and did that little Euro step and step-through move to get the basket.
4-point lead here for Mansfield Christian, and right now 3 minutes plus gone by. The Cougars just sitting on 2 points, no field goals. And an offensive foul called against Drew Sporer, who just checked in. So the Flames are really holding their own here in the early portion of the contest. Hahn off the drive, little hesitation, left hand, and the floater's pure.
So a really good start here for the Flames, 8-2, and just almost halfway through the first quarter. Thompson going to his left and off the glass.
Whew. Tough shot right that time, drifting to his left and using the window.
He might be one of the better players in the area of just being able to go to his left and finish plays at the basket. There was really a nice move.
It's almost a preference for him, I think, on offense to try
almost
to go that way. Hahn this time in amongst the trees. Suffocating space, but Mack baseline drive. Did he step out of bounds? He did.
Yep.
So no foul.
Really good move there by Mack. It just stepped on the baseline.
Meanwhile, Ringler back the other way. Some nice hang time.
Yep. Kai did a nice job of just holding his position and not fouling.
Catch and release from the corner. Nothing but net for Hager.
11-4. Thompson from deep off the front of the rim and ball out of bounds.
So the Cougars yet to make a shot, obviously, from three-point land. As in transition, there's another look at Evan from the corner. Big shot pushes the lead up to 7. Hager looking over to the sideline. Gets the set they're trying to get into.
And kind of a 2-1-2 set here. Kai sets a high ball screen, and Mack's going to get fouled on a 3.
Davion already 2 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. Have a chance for 3 more. And just so slick, the step came back, and then Ringler, who had to fight over the screen, bumps into him.
Ringler need to try to get over that screen a little bit earlier, or the defender guarding Kaib in the high post needed to jump out there a little bit quicker. But Mack doing a good job of creating the contact and going to the line to shoot 3. He misses the first.
After this next attempt, he'll have 90 already, Joe, through 10 games and a quarter.
And that's why you're able to score. I mean, you typically see that guys that score are going to be guys that get to the free throw line a lot. So he goes 2 of 3, and he's 4 of 5 for the night so far. 5 attempts already, and we're not even got 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Can't ask for a much better start if you're a fan of Mansfield Christian, though. They leave an open shooter, and this time they pay. Triple's good from Giroux.
Well, Spohr comes off the bench. Is what you want to do is give a little bit of a spark, and he does here.
Traveling violation. Hahn slid.
Then Spohr does a good job of stopping the baseline drive and forcing a turnover. So it looks like a little bit of a 2-2-1, 3-quarter court press. And Spohr drives it to the basket and finishes.
Yeah, more easy money.
So he leads the Flames with 5 points, leads the Cougars with 5 points as he hits a 3 and then drives to the basket here on back-to-back possessions.
Hahn tries to turn the corner, now lobs Davion.
Yep, they switch this ball screen this time. Boy, what a move.
He's just got such great liftoff.
Yeah, I mean, that was a quick move and then a quick elevation to the basket.
But back the other way, so the offense really starting to pick up Ringler into the scorebooks. Cuts the lead back down to 4. Kaib had it tipped away.
Almost caught Crestview napping a little bit there defensively. So man-to-man on the baseline out of bounds here, a box set. Let's see, just a simple cross screen, and the Cougars do a good job defending the initial action. But
big shot here from Schleusner.
Schleusner with a big 3, 18-11.
So both three-point tries from that corner have been good. No answer the other way. Rebound taken by Davion. Here's Mack into the front court.
Again, you didn't find him early enough.
Cougars fortunate that he missed that one in tight.
And back in transition.
Ringler the bump. And he's got 2 free throws coming up in his future. Foul's going to go on Evan Hager. Be the first on him. Just the second team foul on the Flames. Tyson on the season, nearly 11 points per game. It's his 28th make from the free throw line. He'll bury them both, and now Ringler will step out. Carter Goon, or Joe Kosowski rather, back in.
And Goon will match up with Davion Mack now, since Tyson Ringler stepped off the floor here for a quick rest.
Hahn's been very aggressive with the dribble, but that's his second giveaway, just a bad pass out to the corner.
And the fourth turnover for the Flames here in the first quarter.
That's been a bit of their Achilles heel so far this season. I mentioned Davion coming into today, 52 giveaways. Their point guard Hager, 28 of them to start the night.
I mean, if you're averaging 5, as an individual, 5 turnovers a game, you want to cut that down. But then the Cougars just turn it over.
Evan steps into one, in and out.
Rebound.
Hahn with the left hand, his second field goal.
So
Great sign.
Second chance scoring opportunity, and he takes advantage of it.
Hahn with that motor, just always running at full speed. Meanwhile, Thompson draws the foul, and that'll go on Schleusner.
Mansfield Christian's done a pretty good job here when they've been able to sit down in the half court and defend, of making it difficult. And a good box out there.
Get a loose ball foul here against Crestview. Fourth foul on the Cougars. First here on Goon.
25 seconds to go in the quarter, so you would anticipate that Christian's going to look for the last shot of the quarter here. And you would anticipate it's probably going to get in Davion Mack's hands, which it is right now, but he turned it over on a travel. 5th turnover.
Show it to you one more time. Schleusner just picking it up a little bit too quick off the bounce that time up high. And Justice Thompson, he's kind of the ultimate end-of-quarter player that we have in our area.
Yep, a high ball screen, and they don't switch it. And he's able to get to the basket and get fouled.
Justice will head back to the free throw line, second time here in this opening frame.
Just not very good communication on that high ball screen for Thompson. Somebody either needed to switch it or fight over the top, and didn't get either, and Justice, being the player he is going to attack the basket.
I'd be curious to know in the final 10 seconds of quarter since his sophomore year how many points Justice has scored.
Yeah. Well, typically, as a head coach, you're going to put the ball in your best player's hands, whether it's right away or finding him. Davion Mack, long range 3.
And it's just a little off target, but a nice start, a hot start here for the Flames at home. They've got a 6-point cushion heading into quarter 2.
Did you know that every parent in Ohio may now choose the right school for their child? Hi, I'm Dr. Cy Smith, Superintendent at Mansfield Christian School. Thanks to new legislation, all of Ohio's children are now eligible for a school voucher. No matter where you live, everyone qualifies, and 80% of Ohioans qualify for the full voucher amount. We are so excited for Christian families who can now align their child's education with their Christian values at a private school like Mansfield Christian. Give them the truth that they desperately want and need. Give them a Christian education. You can find out more information at mcsflames.org or call 419-756-5651.
Saturday night high school hoops from the Furnace. Good one going here. Mansfield Christian, a bit of a surprise start. They're out to a 6-point cushion over 9-1 Crestview as we welcome you back to snowy Mansfield, Ohio. It's the Flames with the basketball. Here's Alex Mayer. Great head and shoulder fake. Short arms the shot, but Mansfield Christian will keep it. Hahn off the drive. It's pretty good with that left hand down the lane. Misfired that time. Now the rebound by Thompson. He averages about 8 of those per game. Almost 27 points, and he reigns home 2 more.
They didn't really get very much help on Justice that time, and he went right at Davion Mack and was able to get deep in the lane and just curl it over the front of the rim for 2.
Davion to the right hand, steps through, double team comes. And that was basically all the conversation there at the end of the first quarter from the coaching staff of the Cougars. Just trying to throw extra bodies at Davion, and Coach Kurtz really encouraging his guys, said, how about we take a charge? You know he's coming down the lane, set in and take one.
Well, he had good help. They had good help, and Ringler just came over the top and fouled him and gets his second foul here.
Number 22 is though. Crestview.
He's a JV guy, I think.
Mack able to split the pair, pumps the lead back up to 5. Quick move, Thompson into the lane, finds a wide open shooter right in front of the Mansfield Christian student section, and it's rain home from Daniel Wells.
And Wells with his first bucket of the night.
Hager with it on a string, now dishes it out. Here's Alex Mayer. Mack from the corner, spins out of the screen, now picked up by Justice. Flames working around, a rare 3 from Kaib. 2 long, and 1. Boy, Mack, his aggression level, I mean, he's already got 11 points. It's been huge.
Well, they get a guy shooting a 3 in Evan Kaib, and then they just don't do a very good job of boxing out on the backside, and Mack's athleticism gets him to the glass and finishes a traditional 3-point play.
Goon at the point, given a lot of space was Hager.
Good pass. Not able to finish, though.
Snuck it through traffic down on the block to Spore.
And really, since the first possession, Mansfield Christian has done a good job of just limiting Crestview to 1 shot.
Yeah, bad pass that time, but Crestview returns the favor with the giveaway out on the run. Flames with a 5-point lead on our Whitaker-Meyer scoreboard.
And Matt called for the ball screen, gets it. Thompson switches, and he's going to step up and shoot the 3.
Davion's certainly capable, but that's not necessarily his game. He's just, I mean, as you've seen, he is silky as Jif, smooth peanut butter all day long, driving to the basket.
Well, and you saw that Thompson, you know, he wasn't going to get up and pressure him, you know, real aggressively because he knows his quickness, and just contested that 3, and Mack not able to knock it down. So Carter Goon brings the basketball up the floor for the Cougars, and Justice Thompson sitting in the high post.
Meanwhile, a long 3 and the second for Wells. He's heating up.
And that's what they need. The Cougars need somebody to step up and make shots besides Justice Thompson, and Daniel Wells gets 2 of them here. Thompson with the steal and a basket. Oh, I called it too early.
Oh, wow. Little announcer jinx, Joe.
Yep.
Welcome to the broadcast booth with that one. But how often do you see Justice in that type of situation not finish off the play?
Especially, as we mentioned, going with his left hand.
Yeah.
He's usually been a guy that finished, so sorry about the jinx there.
Meanwhile, an offensive foul by the Flames, or actually just a turnover, rather.
And the Flames with 8 turnovers here in the first half.
Thompson and Mack. Step back, Justice ties the game up.
And anytime Justice has got Davion matched on him, he just really looked to attack him.
Hager a little bit too much sauce with that shot there, short corner. Cougars out on the run. Nice catch. Wells underneath. First lead tonight for Crestview.
Well, actually, that was Spohr that made that basket. Kaib in the high post, run a little bit of action, screening action off of him.
Davion steps into a jumper, ties it back up. 14 points now for Mack.
Yeah, and one of the things we said was Davion Mack was going to have a big game, and he started off, really well tonight.
Only 5 points shy of his season average per contest as Carter Goon lays it down from long range.
The Cougars have come out on fire here in the second quarter from 3-point range.
No makes for him in the first quarter, correct?
I believe you're right. So I believe they got 4 here in the second.
We're only halfway through the frame. And Taylor Hahn, second time. It's pretty much deja vu on a left-handed drive we saw earlier.
Yeah. Just dragging that pivot foot and not jump stopping on 2 feet.
(15-6) Crestview here in the second quarter on the strength of that 3-point shot you were talking about, a dozen of those points.
Yeah.
Wells handling, hands off now. Thompson from the logo gives Carter opposite side. And tipped out of bounds. It'll be Flame ball.
Well, Guna just hit a 3, and Coach Kurtz set up a play that ran him off of a double screen on the right-hand side, just not able to make that 3, but got a good look.
Landon Cyphers just checking in here for Mansfield Christian. He's probably their best 3-point threat. Hager's missed his last couple. Mack tried to pull down the rim. Let's see this one again.
Wow, well, that was an athletic play.
Jeez. I think that would have been on the Joe Show top cuts if it went down.
I mean, came along the baseline and just jumped over top of everyone.
Meanwhile, Justice cannot seem to buy one from outside. Mack, the step back. So neither of our 2 star scorers so far tonight have been able to rain a 3. And a nice break here. The pressure by Mansfield Christian. And that's Cyphers and Schleusner on the double team, able to knock it off.
Yep.
I think it was Kozowski went off his leg. Cyphers baseline. Strong, aggressive rebound, and he puts it back in and one. Landon Cyphers with a nice immediate impact coming in off the bench. Gives his team about 3 points per game, so he can tie things up if he can match that right here. Little short plus his toe over the line. Coach Kurtz really utilizing his bench right now. I think they've gone 8 deep so far here tonight. Goon, fast move, sets it up. Wells, a little sliver, and he buries another.
And all 3 of them have been almost in that same exact spot.
Hahn with the step around, lost the handle momentarily, recollects, puts it in.
And Taylor Hahn really good going with his left hand. There he was able to to finish. He traveled the last couple times, but did not on that play.
Cougars got him spread out, poked out of bounds. Show you the Scout Construction replay of that last Hahn drive. Sometimes they say better lucky than good, and just losing the ball right around the defense worked out well for Taylor. He's got 6 points now. Nice compliment to the 14 put up by Davion. Couple hops off the rim, long rebound all the way out to center court with Goon.
I mean, one of the few offensive rebounds that Crestview's gotten here since the first possession of the basketball game.
Justice trying to find some wiggle room.
Got him right in the corner where that's a good place to have him. They were able to trap him.
Straight away, three's up, and that finds the bottom as well. Big shot from Carter Bowman. Cyphers gets a window. Can't connect. Boy, Justice has really just been attacking that left side of the lane tonight. Draws a third foul against Schleusner. So it looks like he's going to check out. Evan Kai back into the mix.
So baseline out of bounds here. They changed the set.
Thompson, a series of moves going right at Taylor Hahn. Are they going to count it? They are.
You know, Brian, it's kind of, you look at the score and you're kind of going, well, Crestview hasn't played very well, and they still have 37 points with 40 seconds to go in the first half, so they can score. Had a violation, I believe.
Yeah, it will be a lane violation here against the Cougars, so they'll stay at 37. And after a very slow start, all of a sudden, 23 points for Crestview here in this second frame. They've been cooking.
Ran a little elevator screen there for Evan Hager, but not able to catch and shoot it.
Down to 23 ticks. Off the gamble. Got to leave somebody open. It's Mack. Still can't find it from out there. And Coach Kurtz says, let's slow it down, get that last shot.
Who do you think's going to get it, Brian?
Well, come on. Let justice be served. And he normally does.
He dishes it off.
That one's good if it goes. And 2 quarters in the books. Pretty good game going so far. Mansfield Christian had a 6-point lead going into the second quarter, but a 23-10 run for the Cougars now has them on top heading into the halftime locker room. Stick around. We'll have your Spherion Mid-Ohio halftime report. Joe and I will break down all the stats, take a look at some of the other games that are already finished so far in the area that we had on the OS report today, and let you know what's going on with the NFL football, too. That's playoff time, baby. So keep it here. We'll be back live and free in just a couple minutes.
Hi, I'm Joe Balogh. Tune into The Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
Did you know that every parent in Ohio may now choose the right school for their child? Hi, I'm Dr. Cy Smith, Superintendent at Mansfield Christian School. Thanks to new legislation, all of Ohio's children are now eligible for a school voucher. No matter where you live, everyone qualifies, and 80% of Ohioans qualify for the full voucher amount. We are so excited for Christian families who can now align their child's education with their Christian values at a private school like Mansfield Christian. Give them the truth that they desperately want and need. Give them a Christian education. You can find out more information at mcsflames.org or call 419-756-5651.
You're enjoying boys high school basketball to kick off your Saturday night live and free thanks to our good friends at Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Locally owned financial planners that boast the endorsement of national money expert Dave Ramsey and the team at Ramsey Solutions. Spherion Mid-Ohio is proud to support our local athletes. They know the foundations that make great employees are woven into the teamwork, focus, drive, and perseverance given in each practice and game. Let's get to work. Sutton Bank. Earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa. With more than a decade of business, you can trust Scout Construction with your roofing and siding needs. Call Scout for more information at 419-989-7240. Home and Kitchen Supply, your one-stop shop for kitchen and baths, windows and doors since 1970, and Mansfield Christian Schools. Experience the embrace of a learning community that cherishes your child's growth in spiritual and academic development at Mansfield Christian Schools. We'll be back in about 1 minute. Your Spherion Mid-Ohio halftime report coming up soon. It's halftime here inside of the Furnace. 2 quarters in the books. Good game going right now. The visiting Cougars of Crestview enjoying a 37-30 halftime cushion. I'm Brian Skowronski. Joe Balogh is with me. And tale of 2 quarters so far, Joe. Nice hot start for the Flames here at home. Very inspired. The Cougars weren't shooting it very well. That all changed in the second period.
Yeah, that's the big difference in the basketball game right now is Crestview has 13 field goals, and 6 of those are threes. I believe all 6 of them came in that second quarter, so that's been the big difference. Other than that, Mansfield Christian did a pretty good job of keeping the Cougars from getting into the gaps and attacking with their dribble, and they also did a good job of limiting the one shot. It's just that three-point shooting that came alive in the second's been a big, big difference. The other part that's hurt the Flame is just turnovers. They have 9 turnovers.
Yeah, killer.
That's hurt them. You're not going to be able to have that many here in the second half and be competitive. But I think one of the things that Coach Kurtz is really going to emphasize to his basketball team is just rebounding the basketball. The Flames have 6 offensive rebounds to 3 offensive rebounds by the Cougars. So a bigger emphasis is going to be, I think, probably 2 things: rebounding the basketball and then making sure they find Davion Mack a little bit earlier. In this smaller court, you need to almost find him almost at the half-court line, and then just make sure that you have help when he drives the ball to the basket. They will give him, contested three-point shots, contested twos. They just don't want to allow him to get to the lane because, as we've seen already, he can just jump over top of people and finish plays.
Davion with 14 points, 11 on the other side for Justice Thompson. Our player spotlights the top 2 scorers in the game. Daniel Wells, 9 points, 3 3-pointers in that second quarter. That was huge to kind of elevate them. And then 7 points off the bench for Drew Sporer, right at his season average. And he's been their top scoring threat off of the bench so far this year.
Well, and we saw that last night. Player for Margaretta, can't think of his name right off the top of my head, but he came off the bench at 20. And that's
Wiley.
And that's what you really like to see when that 6th man comes in. He gives you some kind of spark, whether it be offensively or defensively. And tonight we've seen Drew Sporer come off the bench and give that spark a little bit, getting 7 points here. So it's going to be Crestview basketball to start here, up by 7 and their first possession of the second half.
Cougars actually getting Sporer into the starting lineup here to start off quarter 3 as it's an and one opportunity. Buckets here down on the block for Ringler.
Well, and you can see Coach Kurtz going right inside to make sure they got a really good look early here. And Tyson Ringler able to catch it and finish with contact and chance to go to the line and stretch it to a double-digit lead here. So what the Cougars, again, using that old phrase, they got to score, like to get a stop and another score here, and now you have it at 12 or 13. So big possession here early in the third quarter for the Flames. And
nice take. That's Taylor Hahn straight to Rack City left hand, and he's able to finish it off.
And that's probably one of the things on the scouting report that Crestview has. You can't allow him to go left because pretty much that's all he's done tonight when he's caught the ball is put it in his left hand and put his head down and really attack the basket.
Hahn's had a pretty nice scoring night so far, 8 points.
So a little bit of a stack action, and Justice Thompson quickly to the corner, and they call a travel.
Hard to identify there on Scout Construction replay.
Just took a little bit maybe of a bigger hop than he needed to, and the official calls him for a travel. And you can see that Justice Thompson giving Hahn space.
Tough runner from Hager that time. But another offensive rebound. It's thrown away. Goon all the way. Lays it in. Cougars got nice size all around the perimeter. Goon 6'4", so is Ringler. Thompson's about 6'3". Backdoor cut. Mack brings it out. Long range. I think he's
tied with a rebound.
Davion's about 0 for 5 from downtown tonight.
Yep.
Travel here on Hahn.
I think that might be about Hahn's third travel here tonight, but again, he just wants to go left, and that's got to be an emphasis by the Cougar defense of making him try to use his right hand. So a little 1-4 high set here, and they bring
a Spore with the shot.
Spore off the double at the top for a quick three, but not able to knock it down.
Max sizing up Goon. See if he looks to go to work. Slick crossover.
That is just where he is effective, of being able to beat you off the dribble. Quick transition here by the Cougars.
Ringler, second chance. Couple rebounds inside. Nearly his second and one. Tyson Ringler, so tough to keep off of the glass. Just battles in there.
Well, and the other thing you saw is Mack gets a layup, but then Crestview gets the basketball out of bounds really quickly and just pushes it up the floor to get another layup. And then, as we mentioned, Tyson Ringler, just one of those guys that kind of does the dirty work, gets the offensive glass, 2 offensive rebounds, and then going to the free throw line here, makes the first of 2.
30 makes now on the season.
Yep, and he's 5 of 5 tonight. Coach Kurt's going to take a quick timeout here with just with 5:46 left here in the third quarter.
And I promise you guys I'd have a couple of updates about some scores. NFL football, 32-12, the Houston Texans with 23 unanswered points. Cade Stover, 4 targets, 4 catches today, Joe.
So Ohio State, good weekend continues. Cade Stover and C.J. Stroud winning their first round playoff game. So a lot of happy Buckeyes here this weekend.
Yeah, what a game last night. I'm sure most of you out there watching Ohio State fans, and just that fourth quarter magic, the goal line stand, and forever will be cemented. That script and that score. Thing of beauty.
Yep, that was pretty exciting. So Carter Goon matched up on Davion Mack here, and that's the shot they're going to give up. That 3-point with some contest.
Wells being hounded. It's on the floor.
Turned it over.
Now Mack in transition, 2-on-2,
and he's.
Rare miss when he's able to get that close. As it's tipped out now, long rebound for Hagert. So the pace picking up. And Evan will back it out. They'll get into a half-court set here, will the Flames.
Yep, they like to play out of this 2-1-2 look with Kaib in the high post. And he'll ball screen or have cutters coming off of him.
Yeah, Evan, a nice wide body. Tough catch, Mack. Poked away.
Step through.
Yeah, just sleeks down that baseline. Nobody that I've seen this year does it any better.
Yeah, he's just really, really smooth when he goes to the basket. Does a good job of playing off 2 feet and also elevating.
Little help comes down on Ringler. The pitch out. Justice! Didn't even catch any part of the rim.
Well, and they went to that matchup early in the second half of throwing it inside to Ringler, and Davion Mack just turned his head a little bit, and he kicks it right back out to Justice Thompson for an open 3.
Meanwhile, a foul on the floor. Let's go back to that last shot, the rainbow jumper from Justice. And he's just really perfected that throughout the course of his career.
First foul here for the Cougars. And he walked again.
Hahn ended up going to the right hand that time, but his third traveling violation.
Which is we mentioned, I think that's what Crestview wants to do. They want to force him to try to use his right hand dribble.
So Hahn's going to check out. There's Coach Kerry Craner giving him a couple of instructions as he's replaced by Landon Cyphers.
4-round 1 here with Tyson Ringler in the post, mainly playing the high post here. Thompson's jump stops in the lane, not able to hit the turnaround jumper.
Flames within 11, trying to eat away at the deficit here on this possession. Davion up and under the scoop, slightly short. Now Thompson on the run, Euro step. Count it. Second foul on Evan Hager. And he thought he stood in and took the charge.
Well, Justice Thompson did a pretty good job of avoiding the contact, and I think the defender just leaned a little bit.
Halfway home, it rims out for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Mack with a rocket of a pass to the corner.
And Evan with a nice little dipsy-doo through the lane. MC hanging around. Crestview looking to extend here. Thompson almost lost the handle. Now Sporer releases from the corner, not even close.
Ringler with the rebound.
And one again. This dude is dominating inside on the offensive end.
Well, you can see the adjustment they've made a little bit offensively. In the first half, they were more of just 5 out. 5 guys playing out on the perimeter looking to drive it. Now they've gone 4 around 1 with Ringler being that guy inside, and his activity around the glass is causing the Flames some problems.
Misses for the first time tonight from the charity stripe and bet it back the other way, and one opportunity for Davion. Mack now with 21 points. Really carrying the offensive scoring load tonight for MC.
Yeah. I mean, his quickness going to the basket, right or left, is as good as we've seen this year.
Trims it back down to 10. But the Cougars have really been good offensively these last couple of quarters.
And that's the 5th foul on the Flames, so Justice Thompson's going to go to the line here and shoot 2.
Nice flash down the baseline for Justice. And the foul on Joshua Hillman.
So the team's playing fairly even. I mean, I think right now it's a 2-point advantage in this quarter for the Cougars. Now it goes to 3. And if you're Coach Kurtz, you would like to stretch this out to 15 or more by the end of the quarter. If you're Coach Craner, you'd like to get this back under 10.
Perfect trip to the free throw line that time for Justice. Open shooter. No bueno that time off the jumper from Hillman.
Yep, they're going to the free throw line again.
Yeah, Hillman with the foul again, his second.
And Justice Thompson going right back to the line.
Justice with those nice pink sneakers. You ever own a pair of those, Joe?
No, I never had a pair of pink sneakers.
It's become kind of a fashion trend, I think.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to get a foul here. He's going to.
So he's just going to stay there for 2 more?
Yep.
Wow. So Hillman, since checking in, he's only been in the game for about a minute. He's got 3 fouls and put Justice on the line all 3 times.
I mean, the one thing you cannot do is on a free throw, you can't come across and back into that shooter. So a big mistake here by the Flames.
And Thompson continues to cash in the freebies. So he's now tied Mack, 21 each for our 2-player spotlights. But what a scoring tear Justice has been on. I mean, 26 points per game.
Yep.
Tops in our area right now.
He's 9 of 12 from the free throw line, too.
Now it's Hager in the double team, able to somehow come away from the mix with the rock. Hahn with a kick out back to Evan. Taylor gets blocked.
Called for a foul.
So really a big stockpile of personal fouls here over the last couple of minutes. 9 total fouls here on both sides in the frame. The lefty Hahn comes up short. Joe Kosaski coming in. Carter Goon over to the sideline. And an empty trip for Hahn. Mack down to the floor. I think he got fouled. He'll shoot 2. Or actually, that's the last foul to give, perhaps.
Yep. It's a 14 foul on the Cougars. Hahn turns it over.
Tosses it right into the student section. You hear the screams over there. A couple girls had to duck away. See Bailey Nelson, though, in the front row with her popcorn. She just calmly tilted the head to the side. Still got a nice wad there.
Nice move. Just not able to get high enough on the glass.
Sporer knew it right away. And tried to toss it back in bounds. Can't do it from that painted section, and there's not a lot of it here on the baselines here.
And the last couple of possessions here, Crestview's going to a 2-3 zone. And probably the big emphasis is to try to keep Davion Mack's penetration out of the lane. And I think we're going to have a foul. Yep.
So I'll put Taylor Hahn on the line.
Yep, be the 15 foul. And Hahn going to the free throw line where he was just at and missed both. So let's see if he can bounce back here. And
11 points for the Flames right now in the quarter.
Just a little short on that one.
Cougars have outscored them by 9 here in the third.
Yep.
So they've really come to life since a slow start, kind of rocky shooting in that first quarter. Taylor misfire on all 4 free throws so far.
Yep. And if you're the Flames, you got to take advantage of those opportunities.
Thompson just...
Yep. Thompson and Mack matched up on each other.
Couldn't make a move. Wells will, and he gets all the way to the rim. Three ball back the other way, and that finds its way home for Blaine Morrow. Limited minutes for Morrow, making the most of them right now. As Ringler in attack mode, spun it out. Final 40 seconds here in the third. Flames looking to close with a flurry. They'll have a couple free throws on the way for Davion.
Yep. He is just so good of that quick crossover and just being able to get into the gap and slice his way through.
Mack can make it a 13-point game if he makes them both. He does just that.
Well, let's see if the Cougars try to get the last shot of the quarter here as we're at 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. At 15 seconds, you're going to see the ball get Justice Thompson's hands here, I'm assuming. Under 10.
Quick spin here for Justice. Keeps Davion on his
Gives it up.
right hip. Nice setup.
Nice pass. Drew Spoor with the basket.
And that is how the third quarter will come to a close. Crestview with a 24-16 frame. They've taken control heading into money time.
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
It is money time here inside of the Furnace, and as that last commercial just shows you, it is indeed a student-led broadcast. My man Aiden Booth, a senior, running the camera for us here tonight, doing double duty. Also keeping an eye on his Steelers game. Pittsburgh trailing 7-0 on a touchdown by the Ravens' Rashad Bateman. As we've got a rebound here by the Cougars. Hold the Flames to a one and done. Nobody out around Wells, and that's the one guy you really can't leave.
Well, you can't leave him. I mean, that find him wide open in offensive transition. So,
dozen points for him, all from long range. Foul's going to go on Carter Bowman. So it's going to be the Flames ball underneath.
and you can see that we mentioned this about halfway through the third quarter that Cressview's going to a 2-3 zone with a big emphasis here of trying to keep this guy, Davion Mack, out of the lane.
That's exactly what you want. He's unofficially about like 0 for 8 from outside as the Cougars race the other way, and it's easy money. 5 points here in the frame now for Wells. Largest lead of the night for Crestview. It's ballooned out to 20. Hahn from the elbow kicks it out. Hager can't dial in the GPS, and a loose ball foul is going to favor the Crestview Cougars. Be the fourth foul to go against Taylor Hahn.
Thompson from deep.
Came up well short, but Bowman, Johnny on the spot.
Yep, offensive rebound on the backside there.
Now Mack closes out with the block shot. Ended up in the hands of Thompson. Now here come the Flames. Mack controlling, and a blocking foul. Foul's going to come on the floor. It'll be the second on Bowman. Flames getting Schleusner back into the mix. Sub out Morrow. Now Josiah, who's only been on the floor about 10 seconds, picks up the personal. And so we'll get a full timeout taken here by the Cougars. 5-0 run here to start things off in the fourth for Crestview. They've just really taken control of this game since, kind of eased into the contest, Joe.
Yep.
And since that second quarter whistle got things underway, they've been a better team.
Well, they gave up 20 points in the first quarter, which is Coach Kurtz was not very happy. So now they've given up 26 since that point of the first quarter here, second through the third and 2 minutes into the fourth. So a little bit more pleased with his defense, especially rebounding the ball defensively. But you can see the one adjustment that they made a couple adjustments. One, to start the second half, they went a little bit more of 4-around-1 with Tyson Ringler inside, and he was being able to attack the basket a little bit, also able to get the offensive glass. And then the defensive change they went to a 2-3 zone with the emphasis of trying to keep Davion Mack, from getting into the lane with his drive, and overall have done a pretty good job of that. But he's an outstanding player. He's got 23 to here tonight.
Thompson's got the basketball. He's nearly matched him with 22.
Got an offensive foul here on the screen.
And Bowman, I think that's 3 fouls on him in about 3 minutes of playing time, so getting his money's worth.
And only the first turnover here in the second half for the Cougars, so wow, Coach Kurtz has got to be happy with that.
They leave Hager alone. Air ball off the 3, ends up in the hands of Justice. Here he is on the run. Step through, took on a double team and still scores.
Thompson with 24 now tonight.
Still needs a couple more points to get to his season average.
Good job there keeping Mack out of the lane.
Quick move, pitched around outside. Hager can't bury this one either. But an offensive rebound, going back to the rack. On offensive foul, he's done. That's his 5th. And you see Thompson really sold that one. Started making his way down to the hardwood before the contact even arrived. So they lose some quality rebounding with Taylor done for the night. But they'll check in a solid 3-point shooter in Alex Mayer. Boy, the whistles have really picked up here lately, Joe. A lot of fouls in this third and early portion of the fourth.
Good cut. Offensive rebound.
And Kai will send Justice to the free throw line.
I feel that's an area that Justice has gotten a little bit better at this year. That, rebounding at the defensive end and then also making better efforts to get to the offensive glass, and gets to go to the free throw line again tonight.
Justice is the leading rebounder for the Cougars this season. Almost 8 per contest.
And that's 8 free throws in a row here for him. 70-46. Crestview leading Mansfield Christian.
Flames just have not been able to dial it in from three-point land. It's been one of the biggest differences.
And they're going to.
Kai with another personal down inside. Just some bully ball, and I mean, that's 5 fouls already on MC. I mean, we're only 3 minutes into this fourth.
And Drew Spohr will go to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Timeout, Cougars. Their third timeout. Still holding Mansfield Christian scoreless so far here in the fourth, Joe.
Yep. Well, I'm sure at the half there was an emphasis about their defensive intensity, as they had given up 30 points in the first half, and as we mentioned, 20 in the first quarter. So Coach Kurtz probably was not very happy with that, and the Cougars have come out and pretty much responded here in the second half with a much better and more solid defensive effort.
For the season, giving up just a shade over 50 points per game. So they've gotten that back on track a bit more after the 30 allowed through the first couple quarters.
Explorer gets the shooter's touch.
Crestview over their season average of 67 points per game. Step back, Mack. Anything outside of the paint, I think Davion's missed so far. No jumpers.
Yep. He's not been able to knock down a three or a jump shot, but he is pretty smooth when he's able to get into the lane and finish. Good anticipation there by Justice Thompson. And a good sprint back.
And the Cougars protecting the possession. Justice awarded a timeout. It'll be a full timeout. So for the Cougars, moving forward, I think next week they've got St. Paul coming to their place on a Thursday night. Big game on the way for them, Joe.
Yeah, they're home for the next two. They have St. Paul on Thursday and then New London on Saturday. So two more league contests, and currently 6-0 in the league. And I believe the Norwalk St. Paul game will be the end of the first round of their league. And then start back up with New London as far as for the second round. So Cougars are looking to continue to lead the Firelands Conference with those two league games coming up next week.
One of the last few years in a row.
They've kind of dominated that league here the last 2 years. Has not been a lot of competition for them in the Firelands.
And for St. Paul right now, sitting in second place in the league, suffering just one loss, and that was on the road at Mapleton in overtime.
Yep. So for them, they need that win next on Thursday night to keep themselves right in the league hunt.
Thompson showcasing some patience. Now zips it cross court. Strong take, but well short with the floater. Here comes Mack, pushing the pace.
Yep.
Davion got everybody on his left hip and then just took it to the bucket.
But this has hurt Mansfield Christian several times tonight. They've gotten an easy layup at the offensive end, and they come right back and give up a layup at the defensive end.
Back and forth we go. Back-to-back bunnies now. 27 points for Davion.
And Justice Thompson going to the basket and draws a foul.
.55 combined points tonight between Davion and Justice. Two very potent scorers, two of the best that we have in North Central Ohio this year. And Thompson, who became, Jake Furr explained it to us on your show this past week, if you've scored all your points at Crestview, he's their all-time leading scorer, but if you've gone to at least one or two schools, he's in second place.
Well, and he's been to the line 16 times tonight.
Yeah, and he'll finish with 30.
Believe converted on 13 of those. He's got 13 from the free throw line. So Crestview kind of going to their bench here with just under 3.5 minutes to go. They're up 25, 75-50.
Bad pass from Mayer up top. A giveaway again here for the Flames. Nice little sliver. And down the lane. Not sure who that is.
Number 15.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah,
don't have his name, though, on the roster.
Oh, nice pass to Goon up and under. And Kai whistled for another foul. And Crestview's quickness has really given Evan a lot of problems. He's fouled out as well, so both he and Hahn.
Well, Crestview does such a good job of a term we use of going to the next play. They, as we've mentioned several times tonight, they've given up a layup to Davion Mack, splitting them, but they don't hang their heads. They just get the ball in bounds and push it right back up the floor. And there's probably been 3 or 4 times tonight where the Flames have gotten an easy layup, but Crestview comes right back and converts again. So Goon with his first free throw of the night.
I think this getting close to a season high for points. Crestview's put up 80 in a game this year. So the bench cleared out now here for Coach Kurtz.
And again, transition opportunity here.
Not a good pass that time. It's read by Cyphers. Nice linky limbs at 6'3" on the outside. They'll set up Morrow from long range. His second triple. Now it is a season high for Crestview, 81 points. Hager with a nice read. He's not able to collect it. So look at that last basket for Crestview to put him over the 80 mark.
Good backdoor cut, good backdoor pass.
Bowman a little short on the shot.
Now they're going to call a goaltend. Said he had his hand in the net. So who scored that?
That
Number
was
13.
Carter Bowman, I believe.
Yep. So he has 5 for the game. Yep, just can't put your hand up into the net or into the rim when the ball is on the rim, so that's why that was a goaltend.
Under 90 seconds to go. Both teams emptying out their bench as Coach Craner kind of waving the white flag here. Tough shot for Kissel on the run. Backdoor pass, and it's thrown away. Hudson Stiegel with the turnover, but Morrow gets it right back. Morrow again. He's shown some nice spark off the bench, Joe, and
Yeah.
if you can make a 3, I mean, you bring some value.
Yep. You got a timeout to get a couple subs in.
Yeah, they've got Aiden Johnson out there now against along with Andrew Martinez, Morrow, Hudson Stiegel, and Landon Bishop, who's on the floor right now for the Flames. And for Crestview, their jerseys are not marked. So I really only know Kissel and Bowman on the floor. Misfire from Martinez from outside. And that should do it.
We'll wrap it up.
So a very strong performance over the last 3 quarters for the Crestview Cougars as they jump to 10-1 on the season. Mansfield Christian suffering their 5th consecutive defeat. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back. We'll have your post-game coverage presented by our friends at Spherion Mid-Ohio. And also hear from your MVP presented by Sutton Bank. Justice Thompson with a 30-piece. Seems like a logical choice. You could drop us a comment, though. Let us know who you think is worthy of being the player of the game. All that coming up live and free in just a bit.
Hi, I'm Joe Balogh. Tune into the Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
At Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, we believe successful financial planning comes with your complete understanding as a client. That's why our financial advisors are passionate about our core value of having the heart of a teacher. When you have complete and total understanding of your financial picture and your financial future, you have more confidence as a client.
Did you know that every parent in Ohio may now choose the right school for their child? Hi, I'm Dr. Cy Smith, Superintendent at Mansfield Christian School. Thanks to new legislation, all of Ohio's children are now eligible for a school voucher. No matter where you live, everyone qualifies, and 80% of Ohioans qualify for the full voucher amount. We are so excited for Christian families who can now align their child's education with their Christian values at a private school like Mansfield Christian. Give them the truth that they desperately want and need. Give them a Christian education. You can find out more information at mcsflames.org or call 419-756-5651.
back now with our player of the game presented by Sutton Bank. Getting some time here with JT, Justice Thompson. A 30-piece for you tonight, but the free throws, very exceptional, 13 of 16. So let's start there, and just the flow that you got into at the line. I think you knocked down like your last 8 to really close things out.
Yeah, that's really a main focus in practice is getting our free throws up. We take about, I would say, around 20 minutes a day in practice to get our free throws up, and they're called free throws for a reason. They're free.
You guys get off to a bit of a slow start here tonight. You're down by 6 going into the second quarter, and then everything kind of changed. In what ways do you feel like you guys really took command of this game after a slow start?
Definitely defense and upping our intensity. That was something we really need to work on, and it showed it in the second half for sure.
Yeah, you put up 23 points in the second, 24 more in the third, and then close it out with 22 points there in the fourth quarter, outscoring the Flames pretty significantly. So you're back to your winning ways, a couple of victories here in a row. 10-1 start for you guys now in your senior year, and obviously you've had some very successful last couple of seasons. So to be at the midway point of the regular season at 10-1, just give me some thoughts on how you feel about where the team's at.
Yeah, as a team, we're feeling really good. We really need to practice some of our more team chemistry skills, maybe team bonding, go out to eat and stuff after the games.
What's some of your favorite restaurants? Where do you and the gang need to go out to?
Yeah, we usually hit up Applebee's because they got the appetizers at nighttime.
Okay, yeah, got to get the nice discounts. Maybe the 2 for $20, I think, is still a thing down there as well. So moving forward, next game, St. Paul, big one for you guys. That's the number 2 team in the Firelands Conference. So to remain undefeated in the league, if you can get that one and go to 7-0, obviously a lot of significance there, Justice. How much have you guys been maybe not looking forward to that one, but just understanding that that's a pretty big game?
Yeah, it's a huge game. Last year they got us on a buzzer beater. We weren't really excited about that, but we've been scouting them, and I think we'll get them on Thursday.
Well, congratulations. 30 more points for you tonight. I think you're the leading scorer in the area right now, over 26 per game, and year after year you've kind of elevated where you've been offensively. So what do you think you've added to your game this year that's a little bit different or better from the last couple seasons?
Definitely my driving ability and being able to hit my mid-range shots. That's something I've really worked on over the summer and stuff.
Well, it paid off here tonight in a big win, so we do appreciate the time, but you know the routine. Before we cut you loose, who do you want to shout out?
Shout out my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Shout out for all the fans coming out tonight, and go Cougs.
All right, Justice Thompson, your Sutton Bank MVP.
Did you know that every parent in Ohio may now choose the right school for their child? Hi, I'm Dr. Cy Smith, Superintendent at Mansfield Christian School. Thanks to new legislation, all of Ohio's children are now eligible for a school voucher. No matter where you live, everyone qualifies, and 80% of Ohioans qualify for the full voucher amount. We are so excited for Christian families who can now align their child's education with their Christian values at a private school like Mansfield Christian. Give them the truth that they desperately want and need. Give them a Christian education. You can find out more information at mcsflames.org or call 419-756-5651.
It's your post-game show presented by the good folks over at Spherion Mid-Ohio. Big win for the Cougars tonight, 83-56. Thought we were going to get a tightly contested ball game here, Joe, after one quarter of play, but as you just heard from the MVP, Justice Thompson, they put really defense at the forefront of their minds, and after giving up 20 in the first quarter, 10, 16, and then 10 to close it out.
Yep. I mean, they're Mansfield Christian was just not able to maintain their consistency at the defensive end of the floor, and so we can see that Crestview has a lot of offensive power, and especially in that second quarter, I think they made 6 threes, and that really kind of stretched it out. And then they came out in the third quarter, got off to a good start, and really Mansfield Christian kind of played even with them for about the first 5 minutes of that third quarter, but then they were able to stretch it out at the end of the third and just dominated the rest of the basketball game.
Here's your final stats, brought to you by MidOhioJobs.net, and 6 of those threes, as you mentioned, came in the second quarter. Only one more of them for the Cougars throughout the course of the game. And for Mansfield Christian, they did knock down 5. Morrow had 3 of those, 2 of them coming when the game was already out of reach. So I thought that was a pretty big difference in the game, that the Flames, they were attempting a lot of threes. They just weren't able to make any and get some continuity going.
Yeah, they need somebody to step up to be another scorer with Davion Mack. I mean, he needs to get some help. And Davion had 27, but he didn't really shoot the basketball very well tonight. Almost everything he had was a drive to the basket or converting at the free throw line. So if he can make some jump shots, then he becomes an even more dangerous player than he already is.
So obviously he's a really versatile threat. Got to work on being able to get some consistency and knock down some jumpers as the Flames suffer their 5th consecutive defeat. And they go, though, now into a stretch, Coach, where they've got some winnable games coming up on the calendar over these next 5. A really brutal run for them right here, where everybody that they played is at least 7-3 or better record-wise.
And we've always said, the month of January in basketball is a grind. It's just, with the weather, especially now, the weather's cold and snowy. Usually you're dealing with, some bumps and bruises, maybe some illnesses. And you're usually playing at least 2 games a week. Then depending on the weather, it could end up and be 3 games in a week. So you got to kind of grind through that and then get to the end of the month. And then, that excitement, we mentioned that last night, the excitement of the tournament draw starts coming around and kind of rejuvenates you. But that grinds apart, and that's where, the good teams separate themselves. They embrace that grind and fight through it and just become a better basketball team. So that'll be important here for the Flames next week, that they got to kind of get back to the grind. Become better next week with, as you mentioned, some games that, if you look at it and compare it, they're much more winnable games maybe than they played the last 4.
And for the Cougars, as we already detailed and we talked to Justice about, a big one coming up on Thursday at home against St. Paul, a game that you can watch live and free right here on the OH Report. That will wrap up our coverage, though, here tonight from inside of the Furnace. Big thank you to the generous sponsors that brought you the action live and free, including Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers, Spherion Mid-Ohio, Sutton Bank, Scout Construction Services LLC, Home and Kitchen Supply, and Mansfield Christian Schools. This is a Mansfield Christian student-led broadcast, so we couldn't have done it without the camera operation of Aiden Booth here tonight, who Steelers now in a 14-point hole, trying to bounce back. He doesn't seem so confident, the look on his face. I'm Brian Skowronski for Joe Balogh, thanking you guys for watching. We'll see you next week. Plenty more games coming up live and free beginning on Monday. Of course, we've got The Joe Show, Episode 3. Who knows what Balogh's going to get into this week.
I think are we filming it at a grocery store here? We're going to do some acting in the grocery aisles maybe? I don't know. We'll see.
No matter where you are, you will perform, Joe. We do know that at this point. But our performance here tonight is over with. We'll see you guys next week. So long.